The Kremlin just announced an Orthodox Christmas truce in their war in Ukraine, starting tomorrow and lasting until the end of Saturday. Joining us now by phone is NBC's Matt Bradley, who is outside of Kyiv. So, Matt, what do we know about it, and what would this mean?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting one, Katie, because this would be starting tomorrow at noon Ukraine time and going all the way for about 36 hours until midnight the following day, until midnight on Christmas Day in the Orthodox Church. So it's hard to see how this is going to play out, because we heard this earlier from Patriarch Kirill I. He's the patriarch, sort of the Pope, if you will, of the Orthodox Church. And, you know, I saw this and didn't really see how that was going to play out, but then we saw that Vladimir Putin himself, the leader of Russia, ordered that his defense secretary, Shoigu, implement this on the front lines where battles have been raging, particularly around the city of Bakhmut, right on the fringes of the Donbass region, where there's just been fierce fighting for the last several months. Now, we had already heard from that initial statement from Patriarch Kirill, a reaction from Kyiv, from the advisor to the president, Mikhail Podolyak, and he called this a cynical trap and an element of propaganda. But this puts Kyiv in a really interesting and kind of a tough position. Do they abide by this truce and risk that they could get a surprise attack from the Russians during this truce, which is going to last for a whopping 36 hours? That's an eternity on this battlefield. Or do they risk firing back and taking advantage of the situation when the guns are silent on the Russian side and really falling into what as they would rightfully call a propaganda trap? Obviously, the Kremlin would love to be able to say they silenced their guns and the Ukrainians disobeyed. So I don't think we're going to see, you know, an enchanting moment like in World War I, where the British and the Germans put down their guns and crossed the battlefield and celebrated Christmas together. The suspicion is just too deep on both sides. But this is an interesting moment, and it will say a lot about where this war is going in 2023, depending on how both sides react and whether or not and who observes this truce.
Matt Bradley, thank you for that reporting. We'll check back on you when we know more.